Five. All right. Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us for another session of the webinar. So, for today, we are going to speak about how to automate your project intake. And thank you, Stephanie, for being here with me. Just like every session that we have, the cheat sheet will be available to you, as well as the replay after the session is completed. So, I am going to share my screen. Feels like this is like the hardest part of every meeting, finding the time. So, okay. All right. Please let me know if you can see my screen, if I can get a thumbs up. I'll just in the chat. That's fine too. Okay, thank you, Stephanie. You're the best. All right. So I might back up a little bit. So we are talking about how to automate your project intake. Again, my name is Essie Moniz and I'm the founder of Automatrix. For today, we are going to go just a little bit over my company, just in case this is the first time you're catching on this train. We are going to dive into the benefit of this workflow. We are going to review the workflow overall, and I will give you a little bit of a demo so you can see it from our Monday board. And we will spend a little bit of time to speak about how do you get the best result, because obviously we wanted to replicate this or something similar, but there are a few things that you need to keep in mind. And once again, you have the cheat sheet for this session, and we'll cover why we love Novo, and share contact, and then Q&A. All right, so get yourself comfy, mute yourself, use reaction to let me know how you feel about the content, and put your question in the chat. I would love to know. All right, so a little bit of our company, just in case this is your first episode with us. We are an automation agency, and what we do is we map company processes. We essentially help businesses be efficient, if we have to put it in just simple word. But the way we do it is by mapping the processes first and having a scale view of everything that is going on, and then find opportunity to make them efficient and then bring in automation. Um, the key benefit of this automation that we are going to cover today is faster project scoping. So obviously, when you are getting multiple project intake, depending on the industry that you are in, you might not having. It's not like a store where the customer comes and they have the same product every single time. So I can give you an example of my own company. So I get client that comes and say, "Oh, I want you to automate my social media creation," for example, and we will have time where it will just be an ad hoc. So they will send us an email. They will explain what's going on and that they need help. So it's essentially not anything that we can just grab off the shelf and hand to them. So having our account manager going through all this email every single day is time consuming. So implementing something like this help us quickly scope it and then generate a clean proposal faster, and have everybody in our team and in our client team know what's going on. So it saved a lot of time. This is why I thought it was worth sharing. So for what we are building today, we have a status change, and then the make webhook URL, sorry, is trigger, and then the project is scope. Today we'll be using Google Gemini, and then the proposal is generated and an update is made in the CRM. And our CRM is of course Monday, but of course you can switch it to any CRM that you have. You just have to translate the module that we are using in the make in the one that makes sense for your URL, and it should work. All right. So the step one for this, and it might feel like I'm repeating myself if you have been with me with the past two webinars, but we cannot stress enough the importance of the webhook. So the webhook catches the information when the studies the project intake happen. So the way it happened is in Monday we have a form, and the client will fill the form. They have the name, the email, the date they want this completed by, and estimated in, and then they have a box where they put the description of the whole thing, like how they want the whole thing to unfold. We grab that text that they put over there, and then we send it to our webhook into our make. And in the make, you will have the custom webhook and the response. So the custom grab the information, the response send a response back to the CRM to say, okay, the information you sent was received. And of course, when you are setting up the webhook, you want to map in the value from the custom webhook for it to work. All right, now let's talk about the Google Gemini in this workflow. I would say this is like the star of the show here. And the reason why I use Google Gemini is because most all small businesses probably use the Google Workspace Business or a higher plan. So it comes with Google Gemini included. So if you want to be efficient with your money and you don't want to buy an additional LLM, then you already have one. You can use Gemini. So that is the reason why I chose this one for this workflow, because you probably already have it if you use Google Workspace. Now, for this module, what is going to happen is the text that I mentioned at the webhook stage, we are bringing it in here. And we are telling Gemini, based on this information that the client has sent, I want you to read it and I want you to scope it for me. I want you to list the deliverable that they want, and I want you to estimate how long each deliverable will take. So once we have that, we then will map the result that we get from the Google Gemini to generate a Google Doc. So that's why you see under content the result that is coming from the Google Gemini. And the good thing about this is when you are using this module or you are testing it out, you can use a Google Doc. But when you finally refine it in a way that it works for you very well, now you can template your own Google Doc with your company design and everything, and then you can map this result. So right after you get this result, you have a fully branded document ready to be reviewed. All right. So now that the document is created and ready for review, we want to find the actual item. We want to find the customer in our CRM because we want to send this information back as an update. So that is the reason why we are using the ID, the pulse ID, give us that exact client that said it. So you might wonder, what if that client was a returning client? Well, this pulse ID is unique. So it is unique in terms of when the signal is sent. So if they were to send it another project right after this one, that pulse ID will be different. So then you won't be dealing with duplicate, even though you're dealing with returning client. All right. And now in the Monday update part, we are grabbing the the URL from the Google Doc, and then we then found the client, and now in their account we are sending the URL back. So when you see the client, you see their intake from the form, and then you will see the URL that takes you directly to the Google Doc to be reviewed before you send it to them. All right. And so this is what the whole project look like. Compared to what we have done so far, I'll say this is fairly easy. Um, The only issue that you might have might be to get your Google Gemini API, but it is very easy. I'll put the information. I'll try to do a cheat sheet, a separate cheat sheet for you on how to grab your Gemini API, but it's fairly easy. That is the only thing that will seem tricky if you're doing this for the first time. All right. Okay. So I think I'm gonna briefly stop sharing, and I am going to review the chat to see if we have any question. Okay, it says we have a question from Pablo that says, "What tool are you using to run the workflow?" Um, we are using Make.com. Uh, yeah, so we are using Make.com, and also in the cheat sheet, you have the list of the of all the tool, but is Google Gemini, Google Doc, Monday.com, and Make. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So while Stephanie is helping us with the chat, I am going to open my browser real quick and then show you the Monday demo. So bear with me one moment, please. All right, let me double check to see if you can see my screen. Okay, you can see my screen. Okay, so this is an example of project intake and coding that we have just to demo this workflow. As you can see, it comes with a form. Once you load, I'll show you. So here the client will put their name and then they'll put the project name and the description. And when they want this done by, you can customize any form that your CRM has. You can get more information from them as you like. Mm, let's see. So here I'm just gonna test it out. And I had a project description before that I will just paste it in. So this is related to the project that we have done in the previous webinar, the employee onboarding automation. And since this is just pretend, I'm just going to select today and then submit. All right. Okay. So now that this is submitted, it's going to take a little bit, but what we are waiting for is the Google Doc, just like this one. So you can see an automation was running, and then it changed the status of the code to say that it has been drafted. If you use Monday, you get also a notification on your phone. I just got one. So now let's click on it and see. All right. Let me make sure that you can still see my screen. Okay, so when I click on that, this is what it gave me. It gave me a breakdown of the deliverable. All right. It looks like it broke it down into a table. All right, but essentially it gave the estimate build time, the code, the overall code, and then it gave the deliverable and the time. Um, He gave all the deliverable and their time on the right, and then he asked clarifying questions. All right. So from here, I'm gonna come back to the Monday. So from here, the account manager had this new project that came in. For every project, we have the ID. So now they have a draft that they can work on and find. So you can see between the time that I submitted the form and the time that they got a document that was generated, that was less than a minute. So now it's like half of their job that was done um, for them, and now they can come back and review and fine tune it, get it approved, and then it will go to process request, and then they will assign the team members for that. Okay, I am going to go back to our presentation, and let me just pause for 1 second and make sure that we answer Pablo's questions. Okay, okay. Okay, he said he's seen Zapier. Yes, you can. If you already have Zapier, you can work the workflow to work with Zapier. Yeah, and this one is fairly enough, so you should be able to fairly set up a Zap that can easily be translated from this one to your tool. So yeah, that's no issue. Okay, so now I'm going to speak about how to get the best result for this workflow. If you notice when I shared the document with you, it did a good job put it in the table. It looks to me like the table wasn't really well formatted. The reason why is because the AI is the star of the show here. You will get the best result because of the training that you will give your AI, your custom AI. So the quality of your output will depend on the quality of your prompt. So you want to try multiple times until you get it to a point where it's working well for you. But I am going to give you some pointer. So for your prompt, you want it to be you want to give the context. So what kind of project it is, the business goal, the complexity, and things like that. You want to tell it the format. So when I initially set up this workflow, preparing for this webinar, it gave me a text, and then it gave me those markdown, those asterisks that you see. And I went in and I say, I don't want that. I want you to give it to me as a table. So hence why it gave me the table this time. So you have to continuously work with the AI until you get the output that you want. And you want to avoid vague language. And I'm going to add one more tip. Okay, so here's a sample prompt, the one that I use. So I say based on the following project, and I put description. This description right here, you want to map the text that you got from the webhook. So instead of description here, you put that text. So in that, in this section, in this placeholder, it will be all the text that your client has sent, and then use a provide a breakdown of deliverable and the estimated time for each of these tasks, and then format the response as a two-column table, one column for the deliverable and one for the estimated time in hour. So the reason why this work is because it gives context, and then it defines clearly what the output should look like, and then it uses a direct language that the AI can follow. Okay. And another thing that I want to clarify with you is once you get your AI or your custom agent to give an output that is fairly close to what you need, you can turn this into an agent. And when we say AI agent, people think like, wow, this is like a big project. But this agent that I'm talking about is fairly simple. What you want to do is you want to have a Google Sheet. This is how I do it myself. I have a Google Sheet where I put a summary of a project that I've completed, the deliverable, and the estimated time for each of these projects. So what my agent will do is once we have a new project intake, you will go to that sheet, you will find a previous related project, and you will from there have more context. You will have more information. So the estimation is very close to what our account manager will have put. So once again, let me see. Okay, no new question. Okay, so I'm gonna go back here. All right, and don't forget to grab a cheat sheet at the end of this session. It will be available to you in the link that I will share right after. So now let's talk about Novo. So I love Novo, and I shared with Stephanie on previous episode how I came to find out about it. So fun story. I started doing. I started putting document together for my business. I had this long to-do list that I found on Pinterest and was just check marking stuff. I did went to a local bank. However, um, they were not. I'll say in terms of technology, they were not like where I needed to be because this is an automation agency and I needed everything to be synced. I then came back and was doing research and was looking for like an online banking and I found Novo. And we've been using it since. It's been like a godsend. So the thing that I love about it is, of course, no monthly fee because we are small. We are a strong team, but we are also small. So we want that cash flow to be really tight. And I love that it has an invoicing tool already in it, so I don't have to use like third-party tools if I don't need to. But I also love that it has integration with other tools. So, like I shared last week for the employee onboarding, you have some employer benefit tools or some payroll tool. Yeah, payroll tool. So I love that it's easy for it to pay our team members in the US. All right. So I also love that I can brand it. I've used other invoicing tool before where you can never get the design to really match your brand, but I love that with Novo it's easy. And someone like me, because we're small, I would like my brand to be memorable. So like after each event or after each client interaction, I would like them to remember us. So branding is really important to me. So I love that Novo makes that easy. And of course, if you love the content that we have shared with you so far, feel free to share to connect with me on LinkedIn or send us an email just to chat. And you can also visit our website. It's currently being reworked, and I'm really excited that we'll probably launch by the end of this month. So I'm really excited about that. Some of the things we will have on that website will be a more transparent pricing. You have all the cheat sheet that we share here, also on our website. You have our YouTube videos also on our website. So it's really exciting time for us as we are growing. So feel free to connect. All right, so we are at the Q&A section. So I'm gonna check the chat again. All right. Okay. And I think I can stop sharing now. So if anyone has any question, feel free to share with us. But since we have a little bit of time left, I just wanted to share. Oh, I have a question. You say, can you speak more about how AI plays a role here? Oh, yes. So AI is like the account manager assistant. So we get this request that I've shown you. This is not our actual board. Our own board. Can you post the website URL again? Okay. All right. One moment, please. I'll just share the website. All right, this is our website. And yeah, so the AI is helping our account manager because we get this request a lot. We get mostly ad hoc. So the what the AI is doing here is reading all this email and this request that we are um, getting, and then turning them into ready to be reviewed draft. So yeah, AI is very important here. And one thing that I can add, I know here we use Google Gemini, but that doesn't mean Google Gemini is the only AI tool that you can use here. You can use your, if you have OpenAI, then you will use OpenAI, and the modules are quite similar. You can also use Claude if you prefer Claude. Um, from entropy. But yeah, but AI is really important here. It's saving us so much time. And another thing that is saving us time is our account manager doesn't have to stop and then have to get on a call with me and say, "Oh, how do I price this?" or things like that. When it gets to her, it's pretty much ready to go. She will just have to adjust the pricing, and then when it comes to me, then it's already ready. So we save so much time. So yeah. Yeah. AI plays, like I said, AI is the star of this main workflow. All right. Okay. So while we are getting more question in, I am just going to grab us that link where you can find all the cheat sheet later. It will not be available to you. The one for this session will not be available to you right away. It will be available after a few hours once I click done here. But you should be able to get all the cheat sheet. It will make you download it. Um, it will make you download it as a zip, so you will get everything at once. And what is this? What size team do you recommend this for? So I would say if you have Well, if you have a team, even a team of two or even a team of one, can benefit for this. Because imagine if you're a solopreneur and business is great and you getting all these requests, you don't want the increase of demand to be chaos. You know, even a team of Uno can benefit from this because you are getting this email and you don't have to read every single one of them. It just prepare a draft for you. So think the thing that you have in your to-do list is to review and send quotes. That's all you have to do. So it makes the job easier. So I would say anybody can benefit from this. Yeah, anybody. It doesn't matter from team of one to team of 100. Yeah, everyone can benefit from this workflow. You are so welcome. Yeah, and like I said, it comes with more training. So the more your team put information in it, so the better result you guys will get. I had a client that we provided a custom GPT for a similar thing. So we they also use the Google Sheet just like me. I had another one. They had like a lot of PDF documentation that we use to train the AI. So every time it generates a quote in the desired format and the information, um, it's not always perfect. So it's not always perfect, but it is really close and save a lot of time. So that is a quick disclaimer there. All right. And we have another question. It says, what kind of coordination or collaboration communication one does this create more time for with client and with your team? Trying to understand the question. Coordination. Oh, okay. So yes. So it saves us time. So what do we do with this after? Okay, got it. So once we have it refined, we'll send it to the client for review. And then if they accept or if they want correction or amendment, we do that. From here, what we do will be probably send it to them, and then if they agree with it, then we get on a call just to get um, just to be synced and be on the same page, and then get a new contract signed. So yeah. So in terms of time saving, yes, it does save time. What else it does for our team? So it saves our account manager time. It saves me time, and our team members get quickly notified via Slack that we are getting new requests in. So probably adjust their availability so we can have like some kind of quick capacity planning. So that is also one advantage, because once we are getting all this streamlined faster, then the team has a um, faster opportunity to react and say, okay, this is my availability. And then the account manager also has an opportunity to do capacity planning, especially when they do go in that meeting. If we have to negotiate and say, okay, the deliverable time is not reasonable, we cannot deliver at that time. Can we do this time instead? Okay, so all this the time that we save from the coding help us build in some room for us to adjust to the demand. That is a really good question. All right, so while we are getting more questions in, I want to touch base on the AI agent. So like I mentioned, this workflow is like the base. So what where you want to go from here will probably be to set up your agent. So if you're interested in that content, make sure to sync up with me and let me know. So we probably can put it. Stephanie might help us put it on the calendar for probably future event, future webinar that we can talk about if that's a topic you really want to know about. So from here, you can build an agent, and then that agent will access. The content or the previous project that you have done, and then you get better code generated. And then, oh, and one thing that I also want to talk about, if you use other tool like QuickBook or other tool like that, and you want to know how to make this workflow work for you, feel free to connect. Also, we can talk about that, and how you can set it up to do your code there instead of like the regular Google Doc. Mhm. All right. Okay, we are getting more questions in. um, oh, thank you. Yes, thank you so much. Yeah. So yeah, Stephanie was saying that the explanation for the prompt was great. I thank you so much. And if you want more discussion about that, let us know. But the prompt, a lot of people, most of the people, I'll say that, oh, AI didn't provide them with the result they were expecting. It was always the prompt, and prompting is very easy. I think most people complicate it. They think that they have to put all the information that they need at once, but I found that you get better result when you have it in a conversation. What I do with my AI is I build on what we're talking about. For example, I'll say, "Do you know about this?" And then once you give me the response, because this is now a fresh memory, I say, based on the response that you give me, then answer this question. So I always do like a follow up on follow up, and that's how I get the best out of the AI instead of randomly just drop question on it. Um, and I feel like we now everybody using AI, some of the tool get confused, so the way about it matter more than ever. So just make sure to to master the art of prompting your AI for best results. And recently I've built how do you call it, a landing page. Yeah, the landing page where you are going to get your teach sheet are actually generated fully with AI, just because my dev was working on our company website, so he didn't have time to build another thing. So I generated with AI in 15 minutes. But my first prompt, I put all the list of the feature that I wanted, and it was like the response that I got from the AI was like, "Whoa, that is a lot of feature. Let's take it one step at a time." So that is telling you that AI doesn't really like when you give him too much information at once. So this is what I was getting to. What I mean that giving it bite-sized information, have it as a conversation. This is how you produce the best result. All right. And of course, we will touch base on how to generate more tool or help, self-help or other things that you might need in your business with AI to save you time in other topic if you're interested. And thank you, Stephanie, for sharing our YouTube channel. So this is where you find all our replay. The one today will also be available by the end of the day today or really early tomorrow, um, as soon as I get the thumbnail from my team member. But this is all I have today, and I'm waiting for more questions. Unless, um, hoping anyone has more questions for us or for me. So while I'm waiting to see if we have any more questions, I'm going to speak about the topic for next week. I believe our next topic is how to automate invoicing. Um, Thank you, Stephanie. Yeah, so this is one of the topics I couldn't wait to share with you because a lot of people, when I first started, I had issues where I work for client and then I had to chase them down to get paid, and sometimes it's not really intentional. Like it's not with the intention to be mean. It's just so many people have so much going around. So if you don't want to be if you don't want to fall off, the mind for them to forget that they have to pay you, there is a way to easily set up an automated system that sends invoices, and you can set up your own frequency and any prompt in between just to keep them engaged, so then they know that the next bill is coming up. So I'm really excited to cover that topic next, and I hope to have all of you with me for that session. And we are also going to talk about how to automate client interaction. And of course, that's come back to keeping client engaged. Um, I'm a project manager with 12 years of experience, and what I've seen, whether it's a project in corporate or a project in a small business, there is something that we call project fatigue. The word is project fatigue. That is the same. So that is essentially people come to a project, they're really excited, they're looking forward to the deliverable, and at some point they just, life happen and they just lose interest. And so how do you keep your client engaged, and keep the project fresh in their mind? Another thing is if you leave too much dead time in between interaction, client might forget what they have asked for, like the request they have sent in and what was said in those meetings. So automating client interaction can be also, you know, maybe in 2 weeks after a meeting, send them, oh, I just wanted to check in again. We are working on your project based on our last meeting. This were the deliverables. This is where we are. This is what is left to be done. It just keep the project fresh in their mind, keep them engaged, and helps everything work smoothly. So that is all I have for today. I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day at noon to join me during lunchtime. So I'm very grateful. I'm looking forward to a future section. You have cheat sheet at the end of this event, and you have the replay on YouTube. All right. Stephanie, would you like to add something before we end it? Okay, just waiting on the chat.
Yes, I wanted to say thank you for all of you for taking the time to be here today. and wishing you well as you integrate this into your workflow. And wanted to remind you to use Essie as a resource, not just the awesome resources she has for you ready to go, like the cheat sheet, but that you can definitely reach out to her at Automatrix and actually get feedback about how it fits for your business in particular. Um, and then on behalf of Novo, thank you to you, Essie. This is another like really thorough and useful piece that I feel like again, y'all can come back to the replay and continue to use. I feel like if you have a team you're working with, share this with your team, run through the replay again, and see if anyone has ideas that come up about how to, again, fit it to your business, fit it to
Yes.
your clientele.
Yeah. All right. Thank you
Wish you
so
all
much.
well.
Yeah, I lost you for a moment. I was like, no. Okay, yeah. Thank you so much. And thank you, Stephanie, for always supporting me with the chat. Like, it's actually not easy to present and keep up with the chat. So I really appreciate you for being my support with that. And with that, we're going to end today's event and looking forward to see you all in the next webinar. Thanks, Noble, for this opportunity. I love to share what we are doing and what we are learning. So I'm really grateful for Novo for this opportunity to have this kind of community. So thank you so much and bye bye. Have a great weekend. Bye.